Oh my God.
Oh, dude, you're like a real superhero, man.
Oh my God.
Happy Memorial Day, everyone. Welcome to the 2023 Memorial Day Bash. I'm your host, Sergeant Alex Cardinale. I apologize for the late start tonight. We were having some technical issues and my webcam just broke all of a sudden. So I'm having to do the show with my laptop webcam, and hopefully it's of at least decent quality. Anyway, I've got a great bash coming your way tonight, and I have a co-host who is going to be joining me. My co-host is an American hero, and she is a symbol of America. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my co-host for the Memorial Day 2023 Bash, Lady Liberty.
Hey everyone. I'm Lady Liberty. I'm an American bald eagle. I'm a symbol of America because of my fierce beauty and my strong, proud independence, which aptly symbolizes the strength and freedom of the United States of America. I'm so honored and humbled to be hosting the Memorial Day Bash with my comrade Sergeant Alex Cardinale. I'm ready to pay respects to the fallen troops and veterans who lost their lives fighting for this great country.
So Lady Liberty and I are going to talk about the history of Memorial Day. We're going to talk about why freedom is not free, and we're going to talk about the challenges that veterans face. There's going to be appearances from Chef Alex Cardinale, Aqua Alex Cardinale, Detective Alex Cardinale, and WWE Fan Alex Cardinale. Chef Alex has some barbecue tips for you and 3 great recipes: a tortellini salad recipe, a fruity pebble pie recipe, and an Oreo ice cream pie. And Aqua Alex is going to discuss how aquariums benefit veterans. Detective Alex Cardinale has some shocking crimes that happened on Memorial Day to talk about. And WWE fan Alex Cardinale is going to talk about WWE superstars who were Marines at one point or another. All right, so we've got an action-packed show. So let's go ahead and get started. It is very important to remember that Memorial Day is a day where we remember all those who have fallen fighting for our freedoms. Many brave men and women have lost their lives fighting for our freedoms. So Memorial Day is all about remembering the fallen heroes of the United States of America. But even more important, I think we need to at least acknowledge some of these surviving heroes that are left permanently disfigured as well. So for me, Sergeant Alex Cardinale, on Memorial Day, I remember those who have died, but I also remember those who did the ultimate sacrifice. They served in the Army and the military, but they got severe injuries. So I think it's very important that we remember them as well. So, Lady Liberty, I would like for you to dive into our first topic tonight, and that is the history of Memorial Day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant Alex Cardinale has given the command. He wants me to go over the brief history of Memorial Day. So please listen up. The holiday grew out of the Civil War, as Americans, Northern, Southern, black and white, struggled to honor the staggering numbers of dead soldiers, at least 2% of the U.S. population at the time. Several places lay claim to being the birthplace of Memorial Day. One of the earliest accounts comes from Boalsburg, Pennsylvania, where, in October 1864, 3 women are said to have placed flowers and wreaths on the graves of men who had died serving the Union during the Civil War. In May 1865, just after the war ended, a large procession was held in the ruined city of Charleston, South Carolina. There, thousands of Black Americans, many of whom had been enslaved until the city was liberated just months earlier, commemorated the lives of Union captives buried in a mass grave at a former racecourse. The service was led by some 3,000 schoolchildren carrying roses and singing the Union marching song John Brown's Body. Hundreds of women followed with baskets of flowers, wreaths and crosses, according to historical accounts. Cities in the North and South began honoring their war dead. In May 1866, Waterloo, New York, was decorated with flags at half-staff, draped with evergreens and mourning black, according to the Village. In Columbus, Mississippi, that same year, women were said to have placed flowers on the graves of both Confederate and Union soldiers. For many years, the commemoration was widely referred to as Decoration Day. But as it evolved to honor not only Civil War soldiers but all troops who had fallen serving the country, Americans began referring to the observance as Memorial Day. Among the first references to the commemoration in the New York Times is an article published on June 7, 1868. It describes a note, with an accompanying wreath, by a little girl about 10 years of age requesting that an official put the garland on an unknown rebel soldier's grave. Her father, she explained, was buried in Andersonville, Georgia, and she hoped that some little girl would do the same on his grave.
Thank you, Lady Liberty, for telling us about the brief history of Memorial Day. So my first topic tonight is a very important one, and one that all Americans of every age, children, teenagers, adults, and the elderly need to remember. And that message is, especially today since it is Memorial Day, we must remember that freedom is not free. Freedom is absolutely not free because the brave men and women who are serving in our army all across the world, they're fighting for our freedoms. And unfortunately, many of them made the ultimate sacrifice in fighting for our freedoms, and many of them lost their lives. But they did not die as a letdown. They died as American heroes because these American heroes were fighting for our freedoms. Now, we may not be the greatest country on earth or the best country, but I think it is important to acknowledge we would not have freedom without our U.S. Marines. Therefore, whenever I'm at a sporting event and they ask me to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, I always do, because it's very important to remember that whatever's going on in the country, it's irrelevant because someone died for our freedom. Someone died for my freedom to attend that Major League Baseball game, that WWE event, that NFL game, or whatever it is that I am attending. We have to remember that someone died for us to have all these privileges. So irregardless of what's going on in the United States that you might not agree with, you should never, ever, ever, never forget that freedom is not free. And freedom is something that we take for granted, but somebody died for our freedom. So let's remember that freedom is not free. And that's my speech on freedom as we celebrate Memorial Day. Now, not everyone that enlists in the Army and military dies, but a big majority of them do. But the ones that survive the military, they have a lot of challenges that they face. So, Lady Liberty, tell us about the challenges that veterans face after they leave the military.
Sergeant Alex Cardinale and I have nothing but love and respect for all the brave men and women who join the Army and serve in our military. Many of these brave men and women lose their lives. The ones that do survive often face many challenges. Join me now as I discuss the challenges that veterans face. There are nearly 20 million veterans in the U.S. Every veteran is affected by service. They may face health problems, employment issues and struggles around accessing their benefits, immediately after service but also in the years to come. These are some of the most common issues they encounter. Some of the most significant are health-related. A considerable number of veterans who served in Iraq and Afghanistan have suffered traumatic brain injuries, TBIs, with about 1 in 5 experiencing a mild form of TBI commonly known as a concussion. Other common problems include post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, anxiety, problematic alcohol use, and thoughts of suicide. Many veterans suffer from more than one health condition. In addition, many women and men experienced sexual trauma, including harassment and assaults, while in the military. That can have both mental and physical effects. Here are some more problems veterans face. Difficulties transitioning from active duty to civilian life. An estimated 250,000 men and women leave or retire from U.S. military service and return to civilian life each year. As of 2021, there were a reported 16.5 million former service members in the U.S. In transitioning to civilian life, navigating the VA healthcare system, finding affordable housing, and applying for jobs can be a difficult and drastic shift. When on active duty, service members receive food and housing assistance along with comprehensive health care. The process of securing a job that allows them to provide for their families in the same way and assures the same kind of financial security in a new phase of life is not easy, especially for those with a service-connected disability. Veterans can experience social and relational challenges with family and friends post-service as well. Shifting from service-related responsibilities to the demands of civilian life and new work environments is a distinct journey that others are not usually able to relate to. Missing the camaraderie, community, and purpose found while serving. Though veteran experiences are wide-ranging and not narrowly defined, transitioning from the military can be one of the most challenging life changes for an individual and family. Many service members have a sense of identity, purpose, and camaraderie wrapped up in being part of the military, and it's easy for that to feel strained or lost once they leave. The unique experiences associated with leaving the military can impact service members in several ways. On one hand, there are practical challenges like securing employment, housing, and healthcare benefits, along with social factors that can make this change jarring and complex for veterans. Then there are the socio-emotional shifts. Veterans may find themselves without a sense of purpose and feeling detached from their military community. Lack of proper transportation for disabled veterans. Transportation helps connect veterans to employment, regular health care visits, support services, and other necessities that are vital to a good quality of life. Lack of access to proper transportation or the funds to secure it can be a significant hindrance to veterans accessing their basic needs.
Once again, thank you, Lady Liberty, for telling us about the challenges that veterans face. All right, let's welcome Chef Alex to the show right now. Chef Alex here, happy to be part of the 2023 Memorial Day Bash. I know we are all getting ready to barbecue, or some of you probably have already barbecued, but Memorial Day is known for barbecues, and we have delicious food in remembrance of everyone that died fighting for our freedoms. So today, here on the Memorial Day 2023 Bash, I'm going to give you some barbecue tips and also a couple of recipes. So let me go ahead and get started with my barbecue tips for you. Now, one of the first things we want to focus on when we're barbecuing is food safety. So before you touch meat and after you touch meat, you should always wash your hands. Now, when we're cooking our meat, we should use a meat thermometer to indicate when meat is done. That way there is no cross-contamination or improperly cooked food. So the minimum internal temperatures per USDA are 145 degrees Fahrenheit for beef, pork, veal, and lamb steaks, and chops and roast, 160 degrees for ground meats, and 165 degrees for all poultry. So basically 145 degrees Fahrenheit for red meat, 160 degrees for burgers and ground meats, and 165 degrees for all poultry. It's very important to avoid the danger zone. The food has been cooked to perfection. The grill has been turned off. The spread has been placed on the table. Sure, much of the barbecued chicken and ribs went fast, but some of it is still sitting around getting ice cold while awaiting a taker. At the opposite end of the table are some salads, cheese, and mayonnaise that have been sitting there the last 4 hours roasting in the sun. Whoever is next to make a plate could be getting a side of bacteria and foodborne illness. Properly storing the food is essential. Hot food should be kept hot by using warming trays, and foods normally stored in the refrigerator should be kept cool by placing them over ice or storing them in a cooler under the shade. Leave food out for no more than 2 hours, or if the temperature is more than 90 degrees outside, no more than 1 hour. Avoid the danger zone for foods where bacteria can flourish, which are temperatures between 40 degrees to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. If you're not keeping your food hot or cold, then most likely you're in that danger zone. Now, here are some meat ideas for what you can grill on the barbecue this year. I love a barbecue grilled chicken. I love chicken drumsticks or boneless chicken thighs covered in barbecue sauce. Ribeye steaks are delicious. I love a good ribeye. So are porterhouse steaks and T-bone steaks. Pork ribs are great on the grill. Salmon is great on the grill as well. So those are just some of my ideas for you. Now let's get to my 3 recipes that I have for you this evening. My first recipe is a great side dish, and it is tortellini salad. Here is my delicious tortellini salad recipe. You will need 2 pounds of tortellini. You will need some Italian dressing, about a half of a cup. You will need about a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. You will need some pepperoni. You'll need a cup of Parmesan cheese, a can of black olives, and you can add more vegetables if you want. Cook your tortellini to package directions, drain it and cool it with cool water, then mix all the ingredients together and you've got a delicious tortellini salad. Now here is a dessert that I made last night that my entire family loved. It was a very simple summer dessert. And we're officially at the beginning of summer anyway. So here is my mint Oreo ice cream pie recipe. A very, very simple recipe. It is really, really good. So you're going to need a Oreo pie crust. You're going to need a carton of mint ice cream, some Oreos, and Cool Whip. Leave the mint ice cream out to soften for about 30 minutes. Then you're going to put it in a bowl with the Cool Whip, and you're going to crush up some Oreos and stir it together. Put it into the prepared pie crust and put it in the freezer for about an hour to two or more. And take it out, and before you serve it, run your knife through hot water. It'll make for easier cutting. And that is a delicious mint Oreo ice cream pie. And of course, you can add as many Oreos as you like. And the last recipe I have for you this year is a Fruity Pebbles pie. You're going to need 16 ounces of cream cheese. You're going to need a cup of powdered sugar, Cool Whip, and a bag of Fruity Pebbles. Cream the cream cheese and sugar together, powdered sugar, then add in your Cool Whip and your Fruity Pebbles and pour that in your prepared graham cracker pie crust. And that is your Fruity Pebble pie recipe. I'd like to thank Sergeant Alex Cardinale and Lady Liberty for letting me be here on the Memorial Day 2023 Bash. All right, thank you, Chef Alex, for your great recipes and your amazing barbecue tips. I hope everyone has a delicious barbecue with some delicious food today. Well, we all know American Alex Cardinale is a WWE fan, and I, Sergeant Alex Cardinale, am a WWE fan as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and welcome WWE fan Alex Cardinale to the show right now. Hey everyone, WWE fan Alex Cardinale here. And right now I'm going to talk about some superstars who, believe it or not, were Marines before they became actual professional wrestlers. These following superstars were Marines before they were superstars. Up first, one of the most famous Marines is Sergeant Slaughter. That's right, maggots. Sergeant Slaughter was in the military before he became a WWE superstar. Now, Sergeant Slaughter is a WWE Hall of Famer, and he loves the military. That's why he chose a military gimmick. He was a baby face for most of his career, except when he turned on America to side with General Adnan and Colonel Mustafa and sided with, I forgot what country it was, Afghanistan, I think it was. But Sarge is one of my favorite American superstars, and it's cool that he was in the military. The next WWE superstar who served in the military is one half of the Street Profits, Montez Ford. Montez Ford is a great superstar. He's an up-and-coming young talent, and I think he's a very cool guy. He's very personable, and I like his in-ring work. So very happy for Montez Ford to have served in the military. And then we have WWE Randy Orton, who could be considered a legend at this point. He's probably going to be a future Hall of Famer. Randy Orton served in the military for a couple of years before going AWOL, but you have to thank him for his military service because he did serve in the military. And then former WWE champion Bobby Lashley served in the military before he became a professional wrestler, and he loves the military. Lacey Evans, the female superstar who served in the military, she did a great job in the military as well. And finally, a WWE Hall of Famer, Kevin Nash, served in the United States military as well. So those are just some superstars that served in the military. I'm sure there are plenty more out there. I, WWE fan Alex Cardinale, say thank you to Sergeant Alex Cardinale and Lady Liberty for allowing me to be here on the Memorial Day 2023 Bash. I'm reminding all the WWE fans to check out Monday Night Raw tonight. I heard Raw tonight is going to be an epic show. Seth Rollins' first night as the new World Heavyweight Champion kicks off Monday Night Raw. We'll hear from Cody Rhodes after his tragic loss to Brock Lesnar at Night of Champions, and Money in the Bank qualifying matches on a Memorial Day edition of Monday Night Raw. So be sure to tune into Raw tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific on USA Network. All right, thank you, WWE Fan Alex Cardinale, for that. That's a great way to celebrate Memorial Day by watching Monday Night Raw. Raw is a great weekly episodic television show.
Sergeant Alex Cardinale and I would like to thank all the unfortunate veterans and Marines who fought and served in our countries but died in the line of defense. Your bravery and sacrifice will never be forgotten. Your legacies will always be that you are the true American heroes who made sure American citizens have freedom. We love and respect you. Let's please take a moment of silence for all those lost in the line of duty.
So let's please take a moment of silence for all the veterans who lost their lives in the line of duty. All right, thank you so much for the moment of silence. Right now, we're going to go ahead and welcome Detective Alex Cardinale to the Memorial Day 2023 Bash. You know, crime happens on every day. Every single day, there's going to be a crime. Whether it's Christmas, Easter, New Year's Day, Thanksgiving, or a holiday that celebrates our nation, like Memorial Day, there is always going to be a crime. There is never a day where there is no crime. Unfortunately, I have noticed a trend on Memorial Day weekend for one particular crime, and that is murder. Murders happen a lot on Memorial Day, and not just any murder. We are talking mass shootings. Mass shootings happen a lot for some reason on Memorial Day weekend. People like to get guns and start shooting and killing people on Memorial Day weekend for some odd reason, and I just cannot figure out why that is, that people need to shoot and kill others. So I've got some stats from over the years that I'm going to go over with you about some of these shootings that happened on Memorial Day or Memorial Day weekend. All right. In 2017, 6 people were killed and 44 were wounded over the holiday weekend, while in 2016 saw 6 people killed and 63 wounded. In 2019, at least 41 people were shot, 7 fatally in Chicago over Memorial Day weekend, including 5 people shot in a single incident on the near west side. And just last year, 2022, more than 130 people were shot and killed nationwide on Memorial Day. That is just a horrific fact that shootings occur on a day where we're supposed to honor the veterans that died for our freedoms. So hopefully this trend stops this year. Shootings are very popular on Memorial Day, unfortunately.
What a great show the Memorial Day Bash has been so far. But I'm really looking forward to the 4th of July Bash that Sergeant Alex Cardinale and I are going to be hosting. The 4th of July 2023 bash will air live Monday, July 3, 2023 at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on YouTube channel American Alex Cardinale. Sergeant Alex Cardinale and I will discuss the history of the United States, fun things to do on the 4th of July, and I'll even tell you about my species, America's symbol, the bald eagle. Plus, there will be appearances from Aqua Alex, Chef Alex, and Detective Alex. So get yourself ready for the 4th of July bash live Monday, July 3, 2023 at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Time on YouTube channel American Alex Cardinale.
That's right. I'm looking forward to the 4th of July bash because I, Sergeant Alex Cardinale, will be back for the 4th of July bash with my co-host, Lady Liberty, who, by the way, is doing an amazing job tonight here on the Memorial Day bash. It's time for our main event tonight, and our main event features Aqua Alex. Hey, fish keepers, Aqua Alex here. Happy Memorial Day. And to all the veterans who are fish keepers, thank you for serving our great country. I hope you enjoy your aquariums and your tropical fish. So my contribution to the Memorial Day bash, I'm going to talk about how aquariums help veterans, and I'm going to discuss the fish species that I think represent the United States of America. First, how do aquariums help veterans? Well, one of the reasons I think aquariums help veterans is that aquariums lower blood pressure. So if you have high blood pressure, sitting in front of an aquarium, watching the fish swim by, relieve stress, they remove stress from the person, and it lowers blood pressure. And I think that would be great for a veteran. Now, they say water creates a soothing effect. So the water noise from your aquarium filter and possible wave maker can help a veteran relax and have a stress-free environment. Also, feeding fish is enjoyable. I, as a fish keeper, really enjoy feeding my fish, and I'm sure a veteran who fought for our hard country would have a great time feeding his fish as well. Also, watching your fish grow to a good size feels like an achievement and something positive. And I think that is something great for a veteran who has probably seen a lot of negatives. And he needs something positive in his life. So watching fish grow and thrive would be one hell of an achievement for him. So fish keeping has a lot of benefits for veterans. I think if you have a veteran in your family, consider getting them an aquarium. You could do a community aquarium with things like tetras, mollies, live bearers, gouramis, Corydoras catfish. You could do an African cichlid tank full of color. You can do a saltwater tank or even a monster predatory tank, depending on the person's personality. There's a plethora of different fish that will work for veterans. So for this year, I've got two fish species that I think represent the United States of America. Up first is the red cap oranda, which is a red and white goldfish, and the maroon clownfish. Those are the two species that I think represent the United States of America. They're both beautiful, they both have freedom, and they're both independently strong fish species. So thank you, Sergeant Alex Cardinale and Lady Liberty, for allowing me to be the main event of this year's Memorial Day bash and for allowing me to be part of the show. So fish keepers, enjoy Memorial Day. All right. Thank you, Aqua Alex. That is pretty much everything we have for you tonight here on our 2023 Memorial Day bash. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I apologize if the webcam quality is not the best because I'm using my webcam on my laptop because for some reason my Logitech webcam stopped working. But anyway, I sincerely hope you enjoyed the Memorial Day 2023 bash. Lady Liberty, do you have any closing remarks?
Wow, I need to do this more often. This was a blast. I want to thank Sergeant Alex Cardinale for allowing me to be part of the Memorial Day 2023 bash. I hope you enjoyed the show. I need to beg Alex to be on the show more. Take care, everyone. Remember, freedom is not free. People died for you. People died for you to be watching this video. So please remember that everything you take for granted in the United States, people died for you to have that right. Fly Eagles fly, and I'll see you on the 4th of July bash.
I concur. I agree, Lady Liberty. I, Sergeant Alex Cardinale, want to thank you all for watching this episode of Memorial Day Bash. I will see you on the 4th of July with Lady Liberty. Have a great day, everyone. Happy Memorial Day, and enjoy your barbecue. You maggots are now dismissed. Happy Memorial Day.